When we're doing unit conversions, also called dimensional analysis, the main idea we want to use is this idea of multiply factors are on top, divide factors are on bottom, and times and divide will cancel each other out. So when we have this example here, we want to convert 27 inches into feet. We're going to start with our 27 inches, and since we want to convert into feet, we need to have inches in the bottom. So our conversion factor that we're going to use is going to be 1 foot to 12 inches. And we get that from a table, from that formula sheet. And once we do that, we have to establish that the inches have to go on the bottom so that these can cancel out. And when we do 27 times 1 divided by 12, we end up with 2.25. And note that the units that we're left with are feet, that they don't cancel out, so that's the units of our answer is feet. So if I'm going to convert 8,000 feet into yards, I'm going to first start with 8,000 feet. Now I'm going to find a conversion factor to convert feet to yards, and that's 1 yard for 3 feet. Now, because I want to get rid of the feet, I want to cancel out the units of feet. I need to make sure that those units are on the bottom. So I have 3 feet on the bottom, 1 yard on the top. And we can see that the feet times on top, the feet, 3 feet divide on bottom, cancel out. And then I can do 8,000 times 1 divided by 3. That gives me 2,666.6 repeating. I'm just going to round that to 7. And again, I want you to make note that the yards don't cancel out, so my final units are going to end up being yards. Okay, so then my answer is in yards, and that's what I wanted, feet to yards. To convert feet to kilometers, we need to do a few steps here. So our first step is we need to find how we can connect feet to kilometers. So what I'm going to do, and there's different ways to do this, but looking on my sheet, I can convert feet to yards, and then yards to miles, and then miles to kilometers. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start with 12,500 feet, and I'm going to convert that into yards. And to do that, I'm going to do feet to yards, 3 feet, 1 yard. The feet need to cancel out, so I have 3 feet on bottom, 1 yard on top. And these will cancel out, so now I have yards if I were to do this calculation. Now I don't want to stop there. I want to continue because I need to convert those yards into miles. And I have a conversion factor on my sheet of yards to miles. It's 1 mile is 1,760 yards. I need to cancel the yards out, so I need to put the yards units on the bottom. So 1,760 yards go on the bottom. That's equivalent to 1 mile on the top. Yards and on top and yards on bottom cancel, so now I'm left with miles. I need one more conversion to convert the miles into kilometers. So I'm going to look on my sheet again. I can see that 1 mile is equal to 1.6 kilometers. Again, make sure that you put the miles where it's going to cancel, so the miles go on bottom here so that they can cancel. So miles and miles cancel. Note that the leftover units is kilometers, and that's what I want. That's what I want my answer to be in, is in kilometers. So my answer then is equal to, okay, so everything on top is times, everything on the bottom is divide. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 12,500 times 1 times 1 times 1.6 on top. and then divide by 3, divide by 1,760, and then divide by the 1 mile, and we end up with an answer that is, okay, so I need to type that all into my calculator, and I'm going to get an answer that is equal to 3.79 kilometers. Okay, and again, notice that my kilometers units match. Okay, so 10 to the power 6 inches into miles. Okay, so I'm going to first start with my inches. So 10 to the power 6 is 1 with 6 zeros, or 1 million inches. And then converting that into miles, I'm going to first of all convert that into 12 inches into 1 feet. So I want to cancel out the inches, so the inches have to go on the bottom. So there's my 12 inches. Okay, those are going to cancel. And then I'm going to convert the feet into yards. So times 3 feet on the bottom, 1 yard on the top. Again, the feet cancel out. Times, I'm going to have 1 mile is equal to 1760 yards. Okay, so again, the yards are now going to cancel out. And then my final units are going to be in miles. Okay, so that's my final unit. And then now I need to plug this all into my calculator. I'm going to do 1 million times 1 times 1 times 1 on top. So it's going to be 1 million divide by 12, divide by 3, divide by 1760. Okay, so that's going to give me 15.78, and that's going to be miles. So 15.78 when I round, and it's going to be miles.